Welcome and greetings to day 9 of the 30-day Rise Challenge. Yesterday we talked about attention, conscious utilization of attention to direct our awareness where we choose and how we choose what level or frequency that we render energy towards. We used some objects. I recommended a candle, a leaf, maybe a crystal or rock, coffee cup, water bottle, a tree outside. I hope that you were able to find some time in your day to practice, because today we're going to dive even deeper. Today we focus on mental focus of the mind body, and we'll be speaking on behalf of the crown and the third eye. You see, yesterday you discovered that the attention can be guided or can be vied for from your external environment and even your own inner mental chatter. Something rises up into your awareness, your attention goes to it. If your attention did not go to it, whether consciously or subconsciously, you would not pick up the message, even if it's not in its full entirety of clarity. Same as focus. Now let me define focus in this segment in a very clear-minded way. Focus is where you direct your energy to balance, okay? Attention. You will also be creating from your thought field. Today you begin a little deeper in strengthening your mind body through mental focus. Treat attention as observation and focus as intent. When focus remains, the mind isn't rigid or chaotic, imbalanced, overly distorted or chattery, but rather it's steady, calm. And practice long enough and you may jump into lucidity or liquid mind. Like a camera lens, it can adjust without losing clarity of perception. The purpose isn't perfection or seeing something perfectly, but rather acknowledging that it is you, the conscious observer, perceiving the energetic information that you experience, whether mentally or, as we bridged, physically, coming into your physical experience. It's also not about suppressing thoughts or emptying the mind or judging whether something is right or wrong because it's there. Instead, it's gently returning to what truly matters, and that's your intention that has been set. So I want to help guide you in setting today's intention. Repeat this 3 times. Remember, we repeat it for our unconscious mind, our subconscious mind, and our conscious mind. Sowing the seed in our mind soil. My mind is calm. My mind is clear. My mind is capable of sustained focus. Let's do that again. My mind is calm. My mind is clear. My mind is capable of sustained focus. One more time. and let yourself feel what you are saying, because there is power with your words, whether you intone it mentally or you speak it outwardly. My mind is calm. My mind is clear. My mind is capable of sustained focus. Now we have set the intention for our multi-mind bodied self. If someone comes in your purview, whether they grab your attention or whatnot, you can wave to them or respond to them, but allow your mind to stay focused at the same time. You see, often we go into the work field, but before we go into that work field, we end up spending many years in traditional schooling, private schooling, some homeschooling, and we are taught focus means heads down, narrow-minded, and then regurgitate the information that we have supposedly absorbed in the time format that they had taught us, expecting us to be able to digest it all in their expectations. Now, if you were like me, I wasn't really good at taking written tests. I had to give a lot of my tests orally because I understood the material mentally. I could speak it from my mental field, although I didn't have a coined phrase for it. But whenever I tried to do it on a piece of paper, I went blank. It wasn't that I was broken. It wasn't that I had a learning disability or a, for lack of a better word, not going with the crowd. Okay? It was that I was unique. And I was so unique that no one in my school body understood the challenge that I faced until we sat down and said, would there be an option where I could speak it? Of course, it'd be one-on-one, so it wasn't going to distract other classmates, and it wasn't going to give them answers. But I studied the material. I absorbed the information. But what I didn't realize was that my inner mind was also already replaying it on repeat. But it didn't have a piece of paper. Now, I probably could have trained my mind and my body to coexist harmoniously in a balanced state where anytime I saw a piece of paper that said test, I could answer it. But at that time, I was not mature enough in mental body. So I would give my tests orally, and I would pass them with high marks. The only difference was the piece of paper was taken away, and it was given auditorily and verbally. The power of the mind is not limited. The power of perception is not limited unless we allow ourselves to view through a lens of limitations or an aspect of perception. So today we're going to help expand your focus awareness. Not narrow-minded focus, but expand your field of focus, okay? So in your space, wherever you are at, whether you are inside or outside, whether it's your bedroom, kitchen table, living room, back porch, front deck, next to trees, wherever you are at, take a look at your environment. What does it look like? Does it look cluttered? Does it look kind of distorted from what you might perceive as a clean environment? Our environment reflects how we hold things about ourselves. And if we are comfortable with how our external environment appears to be, what does that say about our internal environment? Knowing that our external reflects what we hold within. So if you haven't had a space that's dedicated to serve you in the highest positive, cleanest manner, go ahead and take a few moments and clear the energy of the space, whether it's tangible or intangible, okay? And then bring yourself back to your state of calm. Once you are centered, go ahead and employ those breath works if you need to. Once you are centered and calm, let's go into today's practice. I'm going to introduce a few tools that you could probably utilize to help you in this aspect. You can use rocks or crystals. In fact, right now I am wearing an amethyst crystal, which is closely associated with the crown and the third eye. Understand that the crystal itself is not the key, is not what's doing the work for you, but the power of your intention charged with the crystal, embedded with your energetic message, holds that vibrational message and serves in alignment to assist you in your intention. Okay? You could use incense. I have some incense right here. You can use incense. Some people are very sensitive to scents, so always ask beforehand. And pick a few of them that help with grounding, clarity, and calmness. Okay? These are key aspects for the mental body. All right? You may experience it throughout the rest of your body as well, and in your other faculties, your heart body, your physical body, your energetic environment body, your spirit and soul body. Remember, spirit body and soul body is not the same, okay? Though they are closely connected and interrelated, they are not the same. Maybe choose some lighting. I am also a certified practitioner in colored lens light therapy, where I use natural lighting, or I use a light that does not cause harmful rays or radiation or electromagnetic frequencies, and I put a lens color on the light. Depending on the area of which you are seeking service for remedy of, it might be the root, it might be the sacral, it might be the solar plexus, it could be the heart, it could be your throat, it could be your third eye, it could be your crown, and it could be anywhere else on your body or in your body. I will use a closely associated color that matches the frequency of the color of energy center, primarily responsible. It's not going to be exclusively responsible, because sometimes we have some of that energy that's bleeding in, okay? That's where we have to come back to our center, or recenter, realign ourselves, right? And balance. Bring ourselves up into higher vibration in each frequency. I'm also a sound practitioner, which I utilize sound frequencies, solfeggio frequencies, Schumann resonance, singing bowls, shamanic drumming, you name it. Sound frequencies also help with mental clarity, clearing out mental distortion and bringing back a little bit of harmony where it's necessary. These are some of the physical items you can utilize while working on the mind body. Okay, you actually bridge a support of physical action and mental intention. Okay, but remember, these are optional items. You don't have to believe them, you don't have to approve, reject, etc., etc. Instead, approach it, if you will, without biasness. Let the experience itself unfold. When the experience unfolds without a held biasness, you get the full experience of the truth. And even in that case, you might be in a frequency that's not an expanded, focused awareness to get all of the information that is happening coincidentally at the same time. Don't beat yourself up. It has taken many years for many master practitioners to get to that level. This is why I say in energetic work, it's gradual process, intentional aligned steps that will always serve you in the highest positive manner for your unique self. I can give you examples, and I can give you my experience with utilizing these items, but I cannot tell you how you are going to experience them or in what manner experience is going to unfold for you, because I am not in your body. You are. And however unique you are at your core is going to experience it, and everything that you have planted in your mind soil. But remember, these are assisted tools to help anchor your intention. All right? But you still have to do some of the internal cultivation, some of the internal work, sifting through your mind soil, loosening up the dirt, and releasing what no longer serves you. Yesterday, we introduced components of classification, identities, brandings that we might receive from someone in an authoritative position, whether it's a doctor or a therapist, that you might drop your conscious guard and your subconscious mind picks up all of the energetic data. And your mindset starts forming an identity, telling your body to behave in alignment to that frequency. So you might experience anxiety. You might experience episodic moments of bipolar, or maybe some like to say personality disorders, some will say multiple personality disorders, which I think, in my personal opinion, and this is not professional or expert advice, I think it's pseudo. Because everyone has multiple frequencies. No one operates at the same frequency, at the same vibrational level all day long. They jump through multiple frequencies throughout the day. As you express yourself through those frequencies, it shines to others an idea of personality. Some may even jump into another vocal frequency that doesn't sound like your normal voice. Some will mimic another person's voice that might not be here any longer. And some may tap into the elevated conscious field of intelligence, where all energy exists simultaneously. The before, the during, and the after. The tangible, the intangible, the knowledge, the wisdom, the practice, the exercise. So you might find yourself, like myself, drawn to certain things, and I put it into practice. And out of that practice, I cultivate truth of my own experience, rather than a given narrative or asking someone else, okay, this is where I started, how do I get from here to there? And the problem with that, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but the challenge in that aspect is that you're going to get their perception of you, how they perceive the world to be as, through their lens of energetic work that they may be processing through. And that might not even be their information. It might be passed down from master to student, master to student, master to student. till you finally strip away all of the mental layers and come back to your unique true self. And you use the eye of discernment to discern the energy. You see, no practice, no circle of faith was ever meant to be structured or rigid. It was meant to be fluid, to give you a starting foundation point, to look within yourself, go deeper within yourself, and know yourself well. So remember, as you shift your focus today, let it be on that one thing in alignment to the intention that we have just set. All right? Maybe you are one that is connected with certain colors and wardrobe choices. Today, we're talking about the mind body, the crown, and third eye. And so I aligned my wardrobe with the color of the energetic centers. Indigo, often associated with insight of the third eye, which insight is information that comes from within, not information that comes outside of you and comes into you. Information is what you sift through yourself and rises to the surface. Okay? That's insight. Intuition is when your highest unique self or elevated self guides you into your next step. All right? Some people may hear it auditorily, not in a physical sense, but their mind decodes it as comprehensive language for them to follow in those steps. Some, they see images, visualize. They might go into meditative states and imagine greatly in vivid detail. Okay? If you want that, if you want to do that, you got to go through the practice and you have to repeat the process to build that mental muscle stronger. Violet, or a lighter purple, is often commonly associated with reflection and the crown chakra. Okay? White can be symbolized as openness, vulnerability, and clarity, meaning seeing it through clear senses. Okay? Now, we're not going to go into all the clear senses in this video, but you can do your own due diligence and do your homework and look up some of the clear senses. Understand these clear senses are closely associated to the mind body, in which you can perceive in a clear sense of the energy around you and the energy within yourself. Soft gray minimizes visual stimulation and promoting simplicity. You see, in this world, we are often trained in the identity of it's got to be complex or difficult in order for it to feel like an achievement. How many people have come in your life and said, just sit back and relax and let it take care of itself? Probably not too many. What they were saying is, let the simpleness of the process unfold without rushing it, without saying it's working or it's not working. Let the process unfold. Sometimes it's within the moment. Sometimes it's over a gradual period of time, and other times it's like that muscle. You have to repeat the process to build up a stronger awareness to it. Okay? I told you, we're gonna dive deep. Do not take any of this information for surface level understanding. All right? I do not ever speak at surface level understanding. Everything that comes out of my mouth is always at a deeper level, and it's going to resonate at a deeper level within your core. So you can choose your wardrobe, you can choose your fabrics, you can choose your colors, whichever you like to associate with, in alignment to the intention. And this week we talk about the mind body. So I would encourage you, if you would like to try this process, to find some purple, some violet um, colors, and you can wear them like a necklace. You could put a stone in your pocket. You could wear a T-shirt. Um, the reason why I wear this often is because I bounce. I literally put a mental shield filter to keep out distraction and distortion. It doesn't mean that in my physical field that someone's not going to say hi or get my attention, but it means that my focus is always going to stay centered on my intention, even if my gaze drifts otherwise. Okay? Like right now, my daughter is coming home, so she's probably going to do what she always does in a habitual format, which is a very loving way of greeting me or saying hello. So I'm going to probably say hello to her too. But that's just an awareness that even though something might vie for our attention, we can always keep our focus on our intention. Okay? So let's try this physical coherence thing. All right, this is going to be for about 5 minutes. All right, 4 or 5 minutes. Stand comfortably. Remember, we get ourselves into an aligned posture. Stand comfortably. Relax your shoulders. It's okay if they droop. Just let them relax. All right. No stress, no tensing, no popping a muscle. Okay. Place both feet firmly on the ground. You can take your shoes off for this if you like. A lot of people help with grounding with their feet, so I'm actually going to take my sandals off. And my feet are barefoot. They are squarely on the pavement below my feet. Allow your jaw to soften. Allow your mouth muscles to relax. Just for a moment. And then I'm going to ask you to follow along. Take a breath. Remember, we breathe in deeply, bring it all the way down to our belly, our diaphragm, hold it, we release it, we pause. Okay? This is going to help clear some of the distortion or mental chatter in your mind field. This is why we go through the physical body before we go through the mental body. Moving on. Release. Hold. Now with our mental intention and focus, let's give our breath an intention of service. I choose to breathe in deeply into myself to allow my focus to be expanded and my awareness to be elevated without judgment, criticality, or analyzing. And so it is set. Breathe in. Hold, letting the energy do its work. Upon release, I let go what does not align to my intention. All of it. Let all of the air come out. Pause. Now bring your breathing back to normal. How do you feel? Inward, how do you feel? How does your mind body feel? It's okay if you need to do some more. It's completely fine. But at this moment, having you do this exercise, not only does it plant the seed in your mind soil for you to cultivate through your own due diligence work of internal work, but it should bring you back into a calm rest nature. That it's at this point where you can choose to rise, remain the same, or descend. That's your free will. But notice, and I want you to write this in your journal, notice how calm your body feels. Notice how calm your mind feels. Notice how calm your vibrational resonance might be. And then listen to your external field. Has the dynamic of the energy changed? Are the birds chirping? Is there a fan whirring? Is there stillness in the air? As you do this, focus on going further into a deeper state. Not so much forcing the state, but allowing your focus to go deeper. There is no fear. You are completely safe. And dive deeper into your mind field. Do this repetitiously, and you will build your own neural network from your conscious mind to your unconscious mind. And you will gain access and insight to what most people barely tap into unless they are potentially sleeping in elevated states of trance-like brainwaves, in sound meditation, or visual cues like a candle. With a candle, you can look at the flame, and instead of looking directly at the flame itself, look just a hairline above the flame and see the residual energy of heat above that flame. As you strengthen your inner mind's eye, you expand your field of perception, mental field of perception, to pick up more information in your environment than what you have been taught in a narrow focus. Now, I won't say all of what you will see, because a lot of that's going to deal with all of the energy that you carry within yourself. Some that you created yourself, some that you have adopted or was gifted to you, some that's ancestral. Some of that you have to go through, but you don't have to go through it alone. That's why I'm here. I went through it alone. I know what it's like, but you don't have to. After finishing your journal, what area in your mind, what identity held in your mind do you want to release? Maybe it was a classification. Maybe it was an identity that served a purpose that no longer serves you, for some type of sense of survivability, but is no longer necessary. Whatever it is that you want to let go, you have that power. As you think, you create. And as you give your attention to that thing, you allow energy to flow to it, fueling it in the frequency that you allow it to be set in. That means if, on the outside perspective, everyone else is saying this is a bad thing that happened, you can choose to elevate your perception and see it differently. You can see the beauty in the ashes of yesterday and rise from that into a higher vibrational you today. That's simple. There's no complexity to it whatsoever. Just the power of your intention, your attention, and your focus. being in alignment with the mind body. The mind is not weak. You just were taught to ignore most of what it was bringing to your awareness. And sometimes the things that are constantly in your awareness, in your mind field, are embedments of fear because of historical factors that might have come in. But you might not have realized that you had a seed planted within you in order for that experience to come in as it did, allowing you to give it a vibrational branding of frequency, in that frequency. You see, in frequencies, there's always a full spectrum. There's always a balance, okay? What we might perceive is going to tell us what frequency we are in and what we are vibrating at in that moment. And then at that moment, before we choose to make an active action, ask yourself, is this really what I want to send out? Or do I want to rise the vibrational level higher, knowing that what I send out always comes back to me? That's your free will. So you have just done something that probably a quarter of your peers have no idea they have the power to do. Just by choosing a conscious act, you step into the framework of elevated living, of rising higher daily. Pause throughout your day. Reevaluate your posture without judgment. Just write it down in your journal. Does my posture support my attention and focus? Is my breathing steady or kind of erratic? Is it intentional or is it autonomic? Is my body anxious or restless? Or is it relaxed and calm? And then ask yourself, can I choose to bring both my physical body and my mind body into coherent harmony? And your body will respond. Your mind will give you mental information. It might be energy, it might be imagery, it might be a scent, it might be anything. Don't limit your perception. Just allow it to flow in without saying it is or isn't, without giving it a narrative or a judgment or a brand or whether it's positive or negative. Just let it come in. When you become more aware of what's in your mind soil, you become more aware of what is yours and what is not yours that you have been holding on to, and that is now time to let go of. In your journal, with a reflection, sorry, there was a deer that actually did catch my attention. That's funny. In your journal, reflect. Kind of like just now, what distracted me today? In my case, there's a deer that literally just came across eating some grass. Wasn't there a few seconds ago and it just appeared. Okay, I know they don't just appear. All right, I get it. Was returning to focus easier than expected, or did it require you to feel like you had to go back into shift mode to bring yourself into calm, steady, relaxed mode, release your posture, and redo it? When you shifted your attention to what you wanted to give your attention to, and you allowed your focus to be expanded on that, how did your body respond? Resonantly, not touching and feeling, though you can also record that as well, but internally, how did your body respond? Finally, where can you practice intentional focus in your everyday life to uproot what no longer serves you and to sow into your mind field what you want to align to create your own framework, your own mindset in your favor? Write it down in your journal. As you write into your journal, your triple mind body is absorbing the information. So only write down what you actually want to experience. Don't write down what you don't want to experience or why something can't occur. Okay? Whatever you want. You can be anything you want. Write it down. Doesn't matter if it's true today or not. Act as if it already has occurred. While you are writing it down, act as it's already you. And it's only a matter of time that your vibrational alignment and your external field comes into coherence. All right? We've used mental energy, and you may not realize it, but mental energy requires you to use energy. How do we refuel ourselves when we utilize energy? We can drink water. We can spend time in nature. We can prepare a nutritious, high vibrational meal. Maybe reading a page that in a book that aligns to us elevating in our lives through our body. Maybe you have a chore there and you want to see the chore as not as a have to do list, but rather you're doing the chore because you want to reflect everything that you let go of, the cleaning that you have done internally, and you want your outside environment to reflect the same. Now, this is taking conscious effort. Some of us do this on autopilot when we go through a deep cleanse or reset the nervous system, maybe reset our energy a little bit, and we might go through and clean the whole house. All right? Our environment's always going to reflect back to us the state of beingness of how we hold ourselves in either organized or disorganized fashion within. Okay? A little insight. Maybe it's not clear, but the phoenix isn't something that is outside of you. It isn't something you are looking outside in the sky waiting for something to fall down. The phoenix is already within you, and it's in a frequency, and it burns from the inside out. Not a harmful burn, not a burn to create harm in you or your environment, but to burn up what no longer serves you. That phoenix frequency was activated day one. If you watched all of the videos and went through the whole complete video of each day, you would have the phoenix frequency already activated. Because I already embedded the intention and purpose in that video. And then I refined it to serve you in a greater capacity through you internally each video thereafter. Every video has the phoenix frequency intention embedded into it. It also has Reiki embedded into it, and if you want Reiki, all you have to say is, I am open to receive the Reiki that is embedded in this video, and it flows to you. There's no limit. There's no barrier or block unless you put one up, which is basically saying, I don't want it. Nope. Or you close yourself off and you're like, this isn't possible. This couldn't be true. That's your free will. I'm not here to convince you otherwise. I'm not here to persuade you. And I'm sure as heck not going to manipulate anything. I'm just going to bring the truth to you and allow you to sift through it. And what serves you well, cool. If it doesn't serve you well, let it go. Just like whatever you are holding inside your mind field, let it go. If it's not serving you well and it's bringing you down, let it go. Don't pick it back up. Today's affirmation. I strengthen my mind by returning to what matters, in alignment to my highest good and rising higher daily. My body supports my focus, and my focus brings clarity to my perception. Repeat that 3 times today. Okay? And then tomorrow, repeat it again. The day after that, repeat it again. You see where I'm going with this, right? When you repeat the process, you build a stronger awareness and connection. You get up to a point where it's no longer learning the process, but now it's second nature and is automatically happening beneath conscious awareness. And you end up stepping into your unique self of where good things are always happening to you, or things are always working out in your favor. You see positivity in everything, not because you're looking for it, but because you have already been tuned into the frequency to see the positivity in everything, because you built the muscle memory for that. In closing, this is day 9 of the 30-day Rise Challenge. And as I said, it's going to go deeper and it's going to go into areas that you might be unfamiliar with. And if for some reason that you feel that this is not something you are truly ready for, by all means, stop the series and come back to it when you actually feel in a resonant way that you are ready to rise to the challenge and become your greatest unique self, shedding all the layers that isn't you, letting go of all the baggage that's holding you back, releasing all the patterns and identities that keep happening in a loop in your experiences. Below, comment one thing that you allowed your perception to expand without taking someone else's belief of good or bad, or right or wrong, light or dark, whichever duality someone might use. And then share how your body responded to how you allowed yourself the conscious intention to perceive. What frequency did you jump into? What value of quality of energy did you supply to what you observed? Write it down below. If you like the content, go ahead and like that button. Hit that like button. If you would like to be notified when a new video is released, whether it's a short or one of these, like I said, these are probably going to be a little bit longer because it's going to go deeper, all right? But it's completely free, and I do not require you to stay here. But for your own well-being, I do this of my own free will and of my free time. or of my time that I make free allocated for this. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribing helps us become aware that we are doing a greater good out there beyond the same 10, 20, maybe 30 people. All right? Because I truly want to be able to assist you no matter what state of mind or state of body or state of emotion that you are experiencing life in right now. And I want to help you rise into the highest person, highest unique self that you are through guidance, tools and exercises and practices, maybe one-on-one coaching. Because I feel a higher state of gratitude when I can supply the time to help someone else in their life through compassion, love, and open understanding without judgment or a space that you feel like you have to close yourself off. I always open up a safe space. Your information will never be shared with anybody else. No one else will ever know that you had ever had a conversation with me or worked with me one-on-one, because I don't believe in that. I'm not saying I don't believe that it exists in the world. I'm saying I don't allow my energy to do so, because I'm not here as a spectator and I'm not here as a pedestal. I'm here to offer sincerity, truth, and love at the highest vibrational level. I will see you in the next video. Until then, drink water, spend some time in nature, maybe pick up that hobby that you put away because someone probably didn't agree with it was a good thing for you to do because of some other belief they might have shared with you. Eat something nutritious, all right? High in vibration. If you need a little bit of guidance in that, I also do holistic culinary cooking. In fact, for the mind and the crown and the third eye, omega-3s, wild caught salmon, tuna, you name it, avocados, some of your leafy greens, fruits. Lean to the whole food, not because it's creating a structure of restriction, but helping to elevate you so that you may make a conscious choice and choose how you want to live within your body, experiencing all that life has to offer. All right? Until the next video, namaste. I love you. Be well.